She was just a small-town girl from Texas, until one diagnosis nearly changed everything. But instead of giving up, she did something no one expected, and it led her straight into the heart of Hollywood. What secret has Brec Bassinger been carrying through every red carpet, every scene, and every spotlight moment? You've seen her as a superhero, but her real-life story is something even more powerful. And it starts long before the world knew her name. Brec Bassinger. The name might sound familiar if you've ever flipped through channels and paused on a superhero show or a teen drama that just felt different. But who really is Brec Bassinger? And how did a small-town girl with a Texas twang end up in the bright spotlight of Hollywood? She wasn't born into fame, no showbiz parents, no secret Hollywood connections. Brec grew up in Saginaw, Texas, a town more known for rodeos than red carpets. She was just another small-town girl with big dreams. But unlike most dreamers, she had something that made her stand out. Not just talent, but determination and a twist of fate that most people wouldn't believe. Before Hollywood even knew her name, Brec had already learned how to compete. At just 3 years old, she started participating in beauty pageants. But these weren't the sparkly dress, fake smile kind of pageants. For Brec, they were training grounds. She was learning how to handle pressure, how to be on stage, how to shine in a room full of strangers. Little did anyone know, she was preparing for something much bigger. But here's where the story takes a turn. At the age of 8, Brec was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, a life-changing condition that could have easily slowed her down. Instead, she treated it like a challenge, something to face head-on. She didn't let it define her. She used it to fuel her drive. And this unshakable spirit would soon become her greatest strength. While most kids were spending afternoons at school or hanging out with friends, Brec was flying back and forth between Texas and Los Angeles, chasing auditions. Rejections came often, but she kept going. One callback led to another, and eventually, she landed a role that would change everything. Bella and the Bulldogs, a Nickelodeon show about a cheerleader who becomes the quarterback of her school football team. Sound familiar? That's because it mirrored her own life. A girl breaking expectations, taking the lead in a place where no one expected her to be. Bella and the Bulldogs made her a teen star. Suddenly, Brec was on magazine covers, walking red carpets, getting fan mail from around the world. But instead of getting comfortable, she saw it as just the beginning. She knew she had more to prove. Then came the role that truly redefined her career. DC's Stargirl. Brec was cast as Courtney Whitmore, a high school student who finds a powerful cosmic staff and becomes a superhero. It wasn't just a role, it was a challenge. Stargirl wasn't just about stunts and special effects. It was about leading an entire series, carrying a story, becoming the face of a new generation of superheroes. And Brec did it all with ease, charm, and a quiet strength. But behind the scenes, things weren't always easy. The pressure was immense, the hours were long, and she was still managing her diabetes every single day. It's easy to admire someone on screen, but it's even more impressive to know that off-screen, they're fighting battles most people never see. Yet Brec never let it show. Her co-stars described her as fearless. Producers praised her work ethic. And fans? They didn't just love her, they connected with her. Because she wasn't trying to be perfect. She was real, honest, and incredibly inspiring. Even when Stargirl came to an end after 3 seasons, Brec didn't slow down. She used the opportunity to explore other roles, dive into new genres, and continue using her platform to raise awareness about diabetes. She started working behind the camera too, developing projects, learning the business side of Hollywood. Always curious, always growing. What's fascinating is how she's remained so grounded through it all. She doesn't flaunt her success. She works hard for it, quietly, consistently, and with a humility that's increasingly rare in the industry. And yet, there's this constant sense of what's next. Because with Brec, it always feels like there's another chapter around the corner. Something unexpected. A surprise role. A bold move. She's the kind of actress who doesn't just follow a path, she creates one. So maybe that's the real story here. Not just how a girl from Saginaw, Texas became a star, but how she did it on her own terms. With talent, yes, but also with heart. With persistence,